Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to a brand new code-centric video. My name is Derek Che, but you can just call me Sen. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to reverse a string. And for a lot of people, this can be a little bit daunting, especially when you're in a technical interview, where technical interviewers do actually still ask this question. It's asked quite often. And even though the question is a little bit mundane for the sense for how simple it is, you'd be surprised how many developers don't actually know how to reverse a string. So you can find this to be pretty quintessential in terms of acing a technical interview if this question does come up. And the reason why these 3 easy steps are really important is because to be a really good developer, I believe, means coding not in the shortest amount of time, but creating receiving an assignment and writing out that code in the most optimal format you actually can, versus if you had two separate pieces of code which both do the same thing. If the second one has more lines of code to get a certain task done versus the first one, which can be done in, let's say, three or four lines of code, or maybe 5. Obviously, the first line of code is probably going to be a little bit more optimal than the second line of code, well, unless it's like just one really long line of code, which you never want to have. So anyway, let's get into the video. I'm going to show you guys how to reverse a string in 3 easy steps. Yeah, if you like the video, comment, like, subscribe, tell me your thoughts, and I will be creating a lot more videos, and I will actually link this code onto my GitHub if you guys do want to check it out for yourselves. Okay, so here we are using Atom. Right now I was working on another program. It's called Factorial of 12 in a for loop. I think I was just practicing or something, but we emptied that out. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to create our function. So to keep things simple, pretty much what a function does is it's a program that completes a task. Essentially, it's a program that completes a specific task. So if you are creating an application or a website, you're probably going to have a bunch of functions, all that complete their own very specific tasks. And though you do have function expressions and things along those lines where you can store a function into a variable, but we're going to talk about that in a completely different video. We're going to go ahead and we're going to name our function reverse string. And another thing about functions is, let's say if you did not want to name your function, that is perfectly fine as well. Usually for functions that you're only using one time, or for a function that's completing a very specific task, and it's that function alone is going to complete that task and only that task, and it's only that function. It's okay to have an anonymous function where you don't name the function at all, so you don't have to worry about that if you only have a function that's completing a specific task and only that function is doing that. So next we're going to put our brackets, and in those brackets we're going to put our parameter. So we're going to name the parameter str, and that was step 1. It's that simple. Next we're going to use return. And what return does is, after all is said and done with all our methods, it's going to give us back our reverse string, and then we're going to print that string through the console so we can actually see our reverse string. So we're going to put str, and then we're going to use the split method. And what the split method does, so actually let me go ahead and type that in first. We're going to use split. We're going to put brackets, and then we're going to put parentheses in those brackets. And so what the split method does is it's going to let me write comments real quick. It's going to take our string, and imagine if we had a string, let's say hello. We're going to use hello, right? So it's going to take every letter in hello, and it's going to create its own separate string or substrings for hello. So you're going to have a substring for H, you're going to have a substring for E, you're going to have a substring for L, and then another L, and etc. And it's going to take that original string and it's going to turn it into substrings. So next we're going to use another method. We're going to use the reverse method. So let's go ahead and type that in actually right now. Reverse, we're not going to put anything in the brackets right now. And what the reverse method does is it's going to take all the substrings that we created off of our split method, and it's going to reverse them. So let's say if we had hello, it's going to take those substrings and put it backwards. So right now we have HEL, and so instead of HEL for those substrings, it's going to be L E and then H, and that is essentially what the reverse method does. So next we're going to use one more method. We're going to use the join method, and we are going to put parentheses in the join method. And so what the join method does is it takes all of those substrings that we had created and reversed, and it's going to take all those substrings and it's going to put them back together into a single string. So instead of substrings of LEH, we're just going to have le. We're just going to have le as our final string, so to speak. Though, yeah. All right, so we're going to go ahead and actually close that. See, is that simple? That's step 2. That step 2 is very simple stuff here, guys. It's not rocket science. Anybody can be a developer. You just gotta apply yourself a little bit. All right. And then next, we already finished our function. That was it. That was pretty much reversing the string, and now we're just going to print it out to the console so you can actually see your string. So you can actually see the thing, right? All right, so we're going to go console.log, and what would be considered an inline function, we're just going to take our reverse string function that we named. We're just going to actually save me some time right there. It's right there. And then we're going to create another method. We're going to create another set of brackets in the console.log in the reverse string. And in those brackets, we're going to put whatever we want. Essentially, we can take whatever string that technical interviewer gave you to reverse. You just put that in those brackets. So let's say subscribe, right? Subscribe, right? So put subscribe there. All right, and then we're gonna just gonna close the console.log, and yeah, that's reversing a string. So let's go ahead and copy all this. I was working on some practice stuff, right? So we're actually gonna use this right there. We're going to paste that right there, and if we're right, it should say subscribe backwards. Subscribe backwards, guys, and that is how to reverse a string in 3 easy steps for your technical interview. Now note, with the console.log, if we were on a computer trying to reverse a string, usually this is for whiteboard stuff. If we were being interviewed on a computer to reverse a string, that is when we would use console.log, because we have access to the JavaScript console. Though if you're doing a whiteboarding interview, you don't necessarily have to put the console.log in your code. You can just actually kind of just end it at the return in line 2 of the code that we had already done. But yeah, that's how to reverse a string. It's that simple, guys. Anybody can do it. More videos to come on these little technical interview questions. Yeah, if you enjoyed the video, comment, like, subscribe. Thank you guys again for watching. Catch you guys in the next video. Hopefully work on some stuff like FizzBuzz and stuff. But yeah, another video. Take care, guys.